Welcome back to RV Miles, everybody. I'm Jason. Today I want to talk a little bit about RV security. If you're like me, you've seen like hundreds of reels and shorts and even long form videos about something like this. Whether it's this brand or another, Lippert makes one. There's a brand that starts with an O. It's a keyless entry lock for an RV. And one of the things that is pretty common on a lot of those videos is folks will say, this is the first thing that you have to do when you buy a new RV because everybody has the key to your RV. Everybody has the same keys in the campground. And I wanted to dispel that a little bit, but I also want to actually take a look at this thing, open it up, install it, and see how it goes. Most RVs nowadays come with a key like this. This is a one key system. So this one key opens up my front door, both the deadbolt and the handle lock, and all of the storage bins in my RV. Now that doesn't mean that this key will open up everybody else's front doors and their storage bins. And it doesn't mean that the lock cylinders on all of my storage bays are the same as my front door. So this is a master system, which means that keys can be keyed to different things and you can have master keys that open them all up. This key will open my deadbolt, it will open my handle cylinder, and it will open up all of my storage space. But if I take this RV to the dealer and they've got to do some work on it, they're going to ask me to leave the deadbolt undone because they have a master key that's going to allow them access to the storage bays and to that handle lock, which is a little less secure than the deadbolt, but it won't access the deadbolt for them. There are master keys to deadbolt locks. They probably have the master key to the deadbolt lock, but that key is harder to find. And if you go to a dealer where they don't sell your brand RV, they might not have that key. So your RV technician might not have that key. They might, just depend. So the deadbolt's a little bit securer than all the rest of the locks, but there are still master keys out there with them. Doesn't mean that all of your neighbors can open up your RV. They might be able to open up your storage bays, especially if you have a little bit older RV, not that much older. Some of the new ones still have them. The CH751 key opens up a heck of a lot of storage bays and a heck of a lot of the top lock, the handle lock on RVs. But the deadbolt is the securest thing that you've got. But RVs in general just aren't very secure. It's really easy to get into one. You could take a crowbar to the door, even a thick screwdriver. You could break a window. It's pretty easy to get into an RV. You could just bash your shoulder into a lot of the front doors and you're gonna get in to an RV. So there is this whole theory that a lot of people have when it comes to RVs, but when it comes to locking up lots of things, is that locks only keep good people out. And the thieves are always going to get in if they want to. Also, when it comes to locking the hitch on your RV, a lot of people will say putting a lock on your hitch is only going to slightly slow a thief down. And there's some truth to all of that. But it is all kind of theory. If you think like a thief, it's pretty conspicuous to bash your shoulder into a door, to take a pair of bolt cutters to a lock, to take a drill to a lock, to take a crowbar to a door. In a campground here, like I'm in right now, where there's hundreds of other RVers, that's going to be pretty conspicuous. I'm not saying it can't be done or that people won't do it. And obviously you just need to keep your valuables protected. You need to have insurance and you need to just live with the fact that things can get stolen pretty easily. But you do want to deter thieves. And if a thief can come and open your door, open your storage bays, and look like they're allowed to be there, then it's really easy to steal something. If your RV has a lock on the hitch and the one next to yours doesn't, they're much more likely to steal the one that doesn't have the lock on the hitch, even if it would be easy for them to break that lock. The lock cylinders that come on most of the locks that you can buy for hitch locks that come on your RV doors, even the lock cylinders on something like this, pretty easy to pick. So it's not hard to break into an RV, but I do still think it is worth locking things up. Yeah, I know it would be more expensive to fix the broken door that they broke into than it would be to maybe replace a couple of the items they stole. I feel in the end, you're much more likely to be a victim of theft if access is pretty easy. Now, we've been RVing for almost 10 years, 7 of those full-time on the road. Have we been victims of theft? Yeah, but only once. It was an overnight at a Cabela's, actually, where our generator was stolen off the back of our RV. We had a rack on the back of our trailer that our generator was strapped down to with some ratchet straps, and it had 2 bicycle locks on it, 2 like cable locks. They cut those locks and they stole the generator. So stuff can happen. Stuff can happen while you're sleeping in the RV. Stuff can happen while you're away from the RV, checking out a national park or whatever you might be doing. Stuff can happen. But I personally don't feel that means don't lock anything up. So we have this system where we've got these keys, and I've got one and Abby's got one, and we can open up the doors and everything. But it's kind of hard to lock the door when we're just kind of leaving the RV for a bit and the kids are with us. They're off on their own. They want to come back to the RV. They want to leave it. And there's not an easy way for us to hand over the keys without making each of them their own set and have them, you know, risk losing it and all that sort of stuff. So I actually am interested in having a keypad lock like this, this one being from RVLock. So I picked this up myself. It was about 200 bucks. They didn't send it to me, anything like that. So I'm going to take a look at what's in it, and then we're going to install it. More in a moment, but first, this episode is sponsored by RVMattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding. Get a real mattress for your RV instead of the cheap piece of foam that it came with at RVMattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding. They sell real mattresses in all the odd sizes RVs require, like short kings, Olympic queens, and odd bunk sizes, different thicknesses, and more. Their mattresses are toxin-free, they're made in their factory in Arizona, and shipped to you vacuum-sealed wherever you are. You just unwrap them and let them expand. They have a 120-night sleep trial, free shipping, and a limited lifetime warranty. But the best part is that the RV Miles community gets 30% off. It's the best deal they ever offer any day of the year with code RVMiles at RVmattress.com/RVMiles. That's RVmattress.com/RVMiles with the code RVMiles at checkout for 30% off. So this is RVLock version 4. And again, you know, people make a lot of claims about these, and I'm sure they actually do love them, but this is a brand that sends a lot of these out to folks and pays people to place ads for them. So I'm, you know, not going to be able to give you a full review on this because this is just my first day using it. But hey, you get a user manual. It's nice packaging. Got the lock itself and some accessories. So it should be a pretty standard system that goes on pretty much any trailer door. Now, if you've got a motorhome, you might want to be double checking that something like this is going to fit the hole in your door, depending on what type of motorhome you have. But from what I understand, it's pretty easy to install. So we're going to follow the directions and we're going to give it a shot. And in the accessory bin, we have a set of keys as a backup. So of course you've got a keypad that you can enter a key code into, but you do have keys still. So I'll probably just leave the keys in my truck. Of course, it is a battery operated system. It takes AA batteries. So if the batteries do go dead on you, you will need the key to get in. You get new striker plates. You get 2 wireless key fobs. So you can use these to open it with as well if you'd like, and a few screws. Okay, first up, the old lock's got to come out. And then you got to take this plate out. Which I must admit is in there pretty good. 2 tiny screws, those buggers were in there good. And now the RV lock came screwed together the same way, so I got to take those screws out. And try not to drop them on the ground. Now it says to make sure the deadbolt is undone. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to insert the back side of the lock in. Good. Okay. We're going to make sure the wires went through. They did not. There's this connector that you have to make sure goes through and isn't pressed up against the side. So make sure that goes through. And this little package of screws is for the new strike plate. And you do want to make sure that those screws are all the way in because they are actually holding the lock in place this direction. We're going to connect the connector.
Welcome to RVLock.
Ooh, it talks to you. And then you tuck the connector inside and put it back in place like that. Then you reinsert the screws on the back side. I'm going to start with one on the top just to get it held in place. And it says not to tighten them all the way because you're going to have to come back and do some adjustment to make sure that the lock is lined up properly with the door jamb. All right, that seems lined up pretty well for the striker lock. Now let's see about the deadbolt. It's lined up perfectly for the deadbolt too. So I'm just going to tighten those screws down. All right, let's give it a shot. We're going to hit the lock button. And it is, the deadbolt is locked. There is still a top lock up there that I could lock with a key, but it's just the deadbolt is locked. And it comes pre-programmed with a 1, 2, 3, 4 code. There we go. Perfect. I think that's going to work great. You can reset the code, and then you have to program the individual remotes. I'm not going to show you that process, but you can go through that process and you set your own code, and then you've got the key fobs, and then you've got the keys, and you've got lots of options. Again, it's got 4 AA batteries in it, so you do have to change those batteries out. They say it gives you about 6 months, and it will give you like a beeping warning that those batteries are going to die. I wouldn't, of course, like leave your RV in storage dead bolted with all your key options inside of it, because you probably won't be able to get back into it in the spring. But I think this is a really good option, and it's going to be helpful at least at the campground with the kids, and for me to have to think a little bit less about which keys I have, because I've got my office keys, I've got my work keys, Abby's got her keys, and I don't have an RV key on each one of them. I'll just leave an RV key in the truck, and then I'll just leave a key that's all the storage bay keys in the RV. So whenever I want to open up the storage bays or lock them up, I've got that option. So you could change this lock out if you want to. Again, you can pick this lock. You can still break into an RV. You can change all the locks. It's really easy to change the cylinders on all of your storage bays as well if you'd like to do that. I do think it is worth locking some of this stuff up though. I hope that dispels some of the myths about RV locks, and everybody thinks that your neighbor can open up your RV, and it's not necessarily true, but they aren't the most secure things in the world. Thanks so much for being here. If you got something out of this episode, hit the like button. If you want more like it, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.